Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I photoshopped this picture to make it look like this other final picture. First thing I always do is duplicate the layer, so I keep the original in the background just in case. Then I get the spot healing brush and I'm going to try to fix every imperfection that I think the picture has or things that I don't like. By doing this, what I'm doing is basically duplicating the pixels around the area that I select. So it kind of like softens edges and get rid of wrinkles and things like that I just don't want in my picture. Once I'm happy with it, I'm gonna select the eyes and change them. Since I don't have contact lenses and I don't really like wearing them, every time I want a different eye color or a different eye effect, I do it in Photoshop. So the key to this is make a good selection. What I always do is I roughly select the eyes and then press Q on my keyboard, and with the paint and erase tool I can just reselect the way I want it. The paint tool in here obviously gets rid of the selection and the erase tool adds selection. Make sure your opacity is always on 100%, otherwise it won't be a clean selection. Once you're done with it, you press Q again and you'll go back to your picture with the areas that you've selected. If you want to, it's not necessary, but I tend to always use the Refine Edge tool to smooth the edges a bit and just change whatever it is that I want to change. Then in order to replace the color, you go and select the replace color tool, obviously. You can find this in the adjustments replace color tab, and the way you do it is you select the color that you want to replace and then change the hue and saturation until you reach the color that you want. I'm going for a really light kind of like demonic sort of look, so I'm putting the light right up, making them like bluish, kind of like sick color sort of thing, and I want to get rid of the pupils as well, so it doesn't matter if they don't look like naturally black because I'm getting rid of them. And then obviously get rid of the edges that you don't want, like if there's some bits that the color changed and you don't want that color, just delete them really. Then what I did to get the pupils a bit more softer, I created a new layer and painted with this kind of like bluish color over the top. Then go to the blending options tab and just play around with them until you find a color that you want. Now, in this case I used screen, and then I went to the blur effect and used the Gaussian blur, however you call that, and just blurred it out to soften the color. Yeah, kind of like think it works with the picture, but every time I change the color of the eyes or something like that, I do it differently, so you know, this is just like a guide. And when I'm happy with it, I go the healing brush again, just get rid of those like really hard edges. And that's the eyes done. Next I'm gonna change the curves of the photo just by playing around with them until I liked the look of it. I always tend to make my pictures slightly like darker and with more contrast than they actually turn out. And then on the mask of this layer, what I'm doing is, if you paint black over the white, it'll delete the effect on that area that you've painted black. In this case, I didn't want the eyes to be that hard, so I delete them off the mask. Then I'm duplicating the layer again and went to the filtered gallery. Here I use the diffuse glow effect to give the skin a bit of like a softer, lighter look. Obviously it's a really strong effect, so I just changed the opacity to a very lower level just to give it the effect. Again, I added a mask and I'm painting out the bits that I didn't want to be that light, like the hair and the background a bit, just to create more contrast in the picture. Next thing I'm doing is adding a photo filter, because since this picture is supposed to be kind of like a corpse, dead kind of girl picture, I'm adding a cooling filter, which is like a bluish colour, in order to make the skin a bit more bluish, because that was my intention from the beginning. It's just like when I took the picture, it didn't turn out as bluish as it was in real life with the makeup. So I just added the effect. This is like a before and after of the progress I'm doing. I quite like doing that, like changing to see the before and after, to check how I'm doing really. Next thing I'm doing is creating a new layer and fill the whole thing with like a neutral grey colour. Once I've done that, I set to overlay, so you can't see it, like it doesn't have any effect on the photo. But what it allows you to do is use the burn tool and the dot tool on your picture without altering the actual picture. It's kind of like an intermediate mask, and you can darken and lighten the areas that you want without actually doing it in your picture. This is really good because if you mess up, like I sometimes do, you can just delete the mask and your picture will be left back the way it was. Now I'm gonna adjust the levels to make the background even darker and get rid of kind of like that yellowish orange colour that was in there. So again, I paint the whole mask black and just with a white brush go over the bits that I want to be on show. I use a very, very big and soft brush in order to blend the edges with a bit of the picture that is not affected with the mask. By changing the opacity as well, you can blend it even better by going little by little over the mask. I usually play around with this until I actually like the result of it. So, I mean, there's not an actual formula for this. You kind of like just play around and see what you like and see what works with the picture as well. And once I've done this, I'm kind of like good to go. I like the result. I usually do a before and after so I can check that I actually like what I did. And once you've done that, it's really important that you save your picture. Yeah, I always save it twice. Once I save the Photoshop file, just in case I want to go back and change a layer or change something that I see afterwards. And then I save it in JPEG for uploading it to like Instagram or Facebook. It's like the standard file. That's about it for now, really. hope you enjoy this, and maybe you can even learn something from it. And this is the before and after result. If you like it, I'll be doing more videos like this. I'll be doing them anyway. So yeah, see you soon.